Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to be diving into something a lot of you have said you're really interested in, self-improvement.
And we all know it can feel like there's just so much out there.
Right. Seems like every day there's a new app, a new guru, a new method promising to change your life. It's kind of overwhelming.
It really is, but that's where we come in.
Exactly. We've gone through tons of articles, research papers, all sorts of stuff on self-improvement apps, the trends that are shaping this whole space, the role of AI even. We're going to help you cut through all the noise.
Think of it as your cheat sheet for navigating the world of tech-powered self-improvement.
And not just surviving, but actually thriving. So, to kick things off, let's start with a pretty eye-opening statistic. Nearly half of all adults under 45 say they're overwhelmed by stress.
That's huge, and it really highlights why this whole self-improvement thing is booming right now.
People are desperate for solutions. Practical, effective solutions that actually fit into their busy lives.
And that's where technology is stepping in. Which is interesting, right? Because we often think of technology as adding to our stress.
Yeah, all those notifications, the constant pressure to be connected, it's definitely a double-edged sword.
It is. But those same technologies also have the potential to help us manage that stress, learn new skills, connect with others in meaningful ways.
It's all about how we use them, I guess.
Exactly. Think about it. Apps can offer incredibly personalized and accessible tools.
Yeah, you can literally work on yourself anytime, anywhere.
Oh,
And speaking of tech and self-improvement, we have to talk about Gen Z.
they're not just digital natives, they're practically running the show at this point.
Right, they're the ones shaping the trends. And their influence goes way beyond just, liking TikTok videos.
We're talking about a generation with massive spending power, like $860 billion right now, and that's projected to hit $12 trillion by 2030.
12 trillion. That's
Yeah.
just mind-boggling. So understanding Gen Z, it's not just a good idea, it's essential if you want to know where the future of self-improvement is headed.
Absolutely. And here's something that's really interesting. Nearly half of Gen Z wants to start their own businesses. Combine that entrepreneurial spirit with their comfort with technology, and you can see why they're having such a huge impact on this whole space.
They're not just consumers, they're creators. So we need to understand not just what they're buying, but how they're learning, how they're approaching personal growth.
Exactly. And they're definitely not into the old school ways of doing things. They prefer bite-sized, interactive learning experiences.
Think apps that gamify learning, platforms with short, engaging videos, tools that personalize the experience. It's got to be on their terms, on their time.
And on their devices, they're constantly on the go, so these solutions have to fit seamlessly into their digitally driven lives.
That makes total sense. Even I find myself gravitating towards shorter, more engaging content these days. Maybe I'm becoming an honorary Gen Z.
Maybe. But the point is, these preferences are shaping the entire landscape of self-improvement. It's not just about the content anymore. It's about the delivery, the user experience, the whole package.
It's got to be engaging, it's got to be convenient, it's got to feel personalized.
Exactly. And speaking of shaping the future, we can't forget about the generation coming up right behind them, Gen Alpha.
Oh yeah, Gen Alpha. They make Gen Z look like digital immigrants.
Right. These kids are growing up with AI assistants, personalized learning platforms, virtual reality. It's all just normal to them.
So how does this generation, who are already influencing billions of dollars in spending, how are they going to change the game when it comes to self-improvement?
Well, for one thing, their expectations are going to be even higher when it comes to personalization and interactivity.
I can imagine. They've grown up with everything being tailored to their individual needs and preferences.
They're going to demand tools that are not just engaging and intuitive, but also incredibly sophisticated and personalized.
So the self-improvement apps we see today, they might look completely different in just a few years.
Oh, absolutely. And this brings us to the heart of it all, the explosion of self-improvement apps catering to these demands.
I mean, there's literally an app for everything these days. Want to manage your finances? There's an app for that. Learn a new language? There's an app for that.
It's incredible, but it can also be overwhelming.
Totally. Where do you even begin?
Well, let's break it down into some key categories. You've got apps like Habitify, which helps you build good habits with flexible scheduling for like $6 a month.
Okay, that's pretty reasonable. What about for people who really struggle with procrastination?
Well, for staying organized and on top of your to-do list, there's Tick. It's a popular choice for task management.
And how much does that one run?
It's a bit pricier, around $35.99 per year, but a lot of people say it's worth the investment.
Got it. And I know a lot of people are looking for tools to help them manage their money better. Any suggestions in that department?
Absolutely. Habit Tracker is a great choice for budgeting. It helps you track your spending, set goals, and even automate your savings.
Nice. And what's the damage on that one?
You can actually snag a lifetime deal for just under $9.
Okay, so there are options at different price points, which is great. Seems like there really is something out there for everyone's needs and budget.
Exactly. But with so many apps to choose from, how do we know which ones will be the most impactful in the years to come?
That's a great question. Let's fast forward a bit, say to 2025. What categories do you think will be absolutely essential for self-improvement by then?
I think mindfulness and meditation apps are going to continue to be incredibly important.
Yeah, it's not like stress and anxiety are going away anytime soon.
Right. And these apps offer such accessible tools for finding a little bit of peace and quiet amidst all the chaos. Plus, with 5G becoming more and more widespread, it's even easier to use them on the go.
I could definitely see that.
Hmm.
What else?
Skill development platforms are going to be absolutely crucial. The job market is evolving so rapidly that lifelong learning is no longer just a nice idea, it's a necessity.
Yeah, you got to constantly be upskilling and reskilling to stay relevant.
Exactly. Platforms like Coursera and Udemy offer specialized courses that can help people acquire the skills they need to stay ahead of the curve.
Makes sense. It's like that old saying, the only constant is change.
Right. And lastly, social connection and networking apps are going to continue to be vital for building meaningful relationships.
Because it's not just about what you know, it's about who you know, right?
Exactly. It's about expanding your professional circle, finding mentors, connecting with like-minded people, exploring new opportunities.
Okay, so we've got mindfulness skills and connections, the trifecta for thriving in 2025. But these apps, they're not just static tools, are they? They're constantly evolving.
You got it. And one of the most exciting developments is the integration of AI and machine learning. It's making these apps even more personalized and effective over time.
Okay, now this is where it gets really interesting. AI in self-improvement. Tell me more.
The global AI market in mobile apps is projected to reach a whopping $126 billion by 2025.
Wow, that's a lot of zeros.
It is, and it shows just how much AI is changing how we approach self-improvement.
So this isn't just hype, it's having a real tangible impact.
Absolutely. And you might be surprised to note that a staggering 97% of mobile users are already using AI-powered services.
Really? I didn't realize it was that pervasive.
It is, and a lot of times people don't even realize they're interacting with AI. These apps are learning from our behavior, our preferences, our goals. They use that information to tailor recommendations, personalize content, even anticipate our needs.
So it's like having a personal self-improvement coach in your pocket.
In a way, yes. Some key AI features to look out for are natural language processing, which lets us interact with apps more naturally, and predictive analytics, which helps apps anticipate what we might need before we even ask.
AI taking personalization to a whole new level.
Exactly. And as AI continues to advance, we can expect even more sophisticated features, like federated learning, which allows apps to learn from massive amounts of data across users without compromising individual privacy.
Wow, the possibilities really do seem endless.
They are. And it's not just limited to self-improvement apps. AI and interactive tools are transforming the whole world of education.
Okay, now that's something I'd love to learn more about.
Yeah.
How exactly is interactive learning changing the game?
Well, traditional learning can be pretty passive. You sit there, you listen, you take notes. But interactive tools turn learning into an active, engaging experience.
So it's less about rote memorization and more about actually engaging with the material.
Exactly. And we're seeing this happening in classrooms all over the world. Google Classroom, for instance, is used by over 6 million teachers.
Google Classroom, I've heard good things about that one. What are some other examples of these interactive tools?
Kahoots is a popular one. It uses gamification to make learning fun and competitive.
Who doesn't love a good quiz, right? Definitely
Yeah.
makes things more engaging.
For sure. And there's Class Dojo, which focuses on student engagement and positive reinforcement. Studies have shown that it can significantly improve student performance.
That's impressive. What about platforms like Microsoft Teams and Google Meet, the ones that really gained traction during the pandemic?
They've become essential for online learning, making it more accessible and seamless than ever. And they continue to play a crucial role in education today.
It's fascinating how these tools are bridging the gap between the physical and digital worlds of learning.
Absolutely. And what's really exciting is that there are tools specifically designed for different learning styles and needs, things like Audocio and Flip.
So it's all about creating a more personalized and inclusive learning experience.
Precisely. So whether you're a student, an educator, or just someone who loves to learn, These tools have the potential to make a huge difference.
No matter how you like to learn, there's a tool out there that can help. But where do we go from here? What's next for education as a whole?
Well, I think the answer lies in the rise of online learning platforms.
Online learning, that's a hot topic for sure.
It is. Platforms like Coursera, EDX, and Khan Academy are already transforming the way we learn. They offer a massive range of courses, from basic to advanced, across all sorts of subjects. And the best part is, they're accessible to anyone with an internet connection.
Learn anything, anywhere, anytime. The possibilities are pretty amazing.
They are. And it's not just about convenience. These platforms use AI to create truly personalized learning experiences.
What do you mean by personalized in this context?
They can tailor the content, the pace, even the teaching style to fit your individual needs and preferences.
Okay, so it's not like everyone who takes a course gets the exact same experience.
Nope. The platform tracks your progress, identifies your strengths and weaknesses, and adjusts the learning path accordingly.
It's like having a custom curriculum created just for you.
Exactly. And it's incredibly effective. Learners are more engaged, they retain information better, and they're more likely to achieve their goals.
So the future of education is all about customization and personalization.
It certainly seems that way. And another key aspect of these online platforms is that they offer accredited courses and certifications.
So you can actually boost your career prospects through online learning.
Absolutely. In today's job market, continuous learning is essential, and these certifications show potential employers that you're committed to staying ahead of the curve.
It's incredible how much the education landscape is evolving.
It is, and it's all thanks to the power of technology.
So to sum it all up, it's pretty clear that we're in the midst of a self-improvement revolution, and technology is the driving force.
Absolutely. From stress-busting apps to AI-powered learning platforms, there's never been a better time to invest in your personal and professional growth.
It's exciting, but also a lot to take in. So for all of you listening, I'd love to hear your thoughts. What's resonating with you most from everything we've talked about so far?
It's amazing to see how technology is giving us the tools to take control of our lives, learn new things, manage stress, connect with others, and ultimately become the best versions of ourselves.
And that's really what it's all about, isn't it? Empowerment.
Yeah.
But before we dive even deeper in part two, I want you to take a moment and think about this. What area of your life would you like to focus on for self-improvement? There are so many incredible tools available.
Which ones will you explore to start your own tech-savvy journey of growth and discovery?
Welcome back to part two. Last time, we were talking about this amazing potential of tech for self-improvement and how it's kind of changing the game, especially with those digital natives, Gen Z and Alpha.
Totally. But like with anything powerful, I think we got to be careful, think it through.
Right. I mean, tech is a tool. And how we use it, that's up to us.
Exactly. We need to be aware of like the downsides, not just the benefits, right?
For sure. So let's get into some of the nuances, the complexities of all of this. One area I think is super interesting is how tech is intercepting with mindfulness.
It's kind of odd couple, isn't it?
Right. Because, I mean, usually we think of technology as the enemy of mindfulness. All those distractions, notifications, that pressure to be constantly connected, it's like the opposite of being present.
It is. It's interesting, though, how tech can actually like enhance mindfulness if we use it the right way.
Okay, so how does that work? Give me some examples.
Well, think about accessibility, right?
Yeah.
Thanks to apps and these online platforms, anyone with a smartphone or a computer can access guided meditations, mindfulness exercises. You can even do virtual mindfulness retreats.
So no need to, escape to a secluded mountaintop to find some peace and quiet.
Well, those retreats are still awesome, for sure. But technology just makes it a lot more accessible, more convenient for, everyday life. You could do a quick meditation on your lunch break, listen to a calming soundscape during your commute.
You could even use one of those biofeedback devices to see what your stress levels are doing. Learn how to, regulate your breathing.
Exactly. It's about making mindfulness more, I guess, practical, like something you can actually integrate into your busy life.
I like that. So it's not this separate thing that you only do when you have time or when you're on vacation. It's something you can weave into your everyday routine.
Right. And it goes beyond just accessibility. Technology is also being used to personalize those practices.
Wait, personalized mindfulness. What does that even look like?
Well, mindfulness is different for everyone, right? What works for one person might not work for another. But with AI and machine learning, apps can now tailor these practices to your individual needs and preferences.
Okay, so that's like having a mindfulness coach in your pocket that knows exactly what you need.
Sort of, yeah. Like, Some apps use biofeedback to track your stress levels and then suggest specific meditations or breathing exercises that can help you calm down. Others use your listening history, what you've listened to before,
Hmm.
and create a personalized soundscape or a guided meditation that really resonates with you.
So no more generic one-size-fits-all approaches. The app gets to know you and adjusts accordingly. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. It really is. It's blending the digital and the personal in a really fascinating way. And it's not just mindfulness, by the way. We're seeing this kind of personalization happening across the board, especially in education.
Let's talk about that. We touched on online learning platforms earlier. What other big changes are we seeing in education thanks to technology?
Well, one trend I think is really exciting is this whole idea of personalized learning.
We talked about that a little bit before, but I'd love to go deeper. What exactly do we mean by personalized learning?
It's about tailoring the learning experience to the needs of each student, like recognizing that everyone learns differently, right? At their own pace, with their own unique strengths and weaknesses.
So it's moving away from that traditional one-size-fits-all model of education,
Hmm.
where everyone gets the same standardized curriculum, whether it actually works for them or not.
Exactly. It's about shifting the focus to the student. And technology is what makes that shift possible.
Okay, I'm with you so far.
Yeah.
But how does that actually work?
Well, technology allows us to collect and analyze tons of data about each student's learning. We can track their progress, see what they're good at, where they're struggling, how they're engaging with the material.
So it's like having a detailed map of each student's learning journey.
Yeah, you could say that. And once you have that map, you can use it to create a learning path that's specifically tailored to that student, to their individual needs and their goals.
So what would this look like in a classroom? Paint me a picture.
Okay, so imagine a classroom where every student is working on a different project at their own pace. They're using tools and resources that are relevant to their interests, their learning style. One kid might be building a website, another might be writing a story, and another might be conducting a science experiment.
Wow, that sounds a lot more engaging than everyone sitting in rows listening to the same lecture.
For sure. And it's all about giving students more agency, more ownership over their learning. They're not just passively absorbing information, they're actively engaged in the process.
I love that. This all sounds really incredible, but also very futuristic. Is this something that's actually happening now, or is it more of a vision for the future?
It's a little bit of both, honestly. Personalized learning is already being implemented in some schools, but it's still early days.
So we're on the cusp of a major transformation in education.
I think so. And as technology keeps advancing, the possibilities are just going to keep expanding. We're already seeing things like AI-powered tutors that can provide individual feedback and support, and the use of VR and AR to create immersive learning environments.
Wow, it sounds like the classroom of the future is going to be completely different from what we're used to.
It is, and I think it's a really exciting time to be involved in the world of education. We have a real opportunity to create a learning system that's truly equitable and inclusive, where every student is empowered to reach their full potential.
That's a powerful vision. And it's clear that technology is going to play a huge role in making it a reality. But at the end of the day, it's not just about the technology itself, right? It's about how we use it.
Yeah, it's about making sure it's serving us, not the other way around. And that brings us back to something we talked about before, the importance of balance.
Right. We've talked about all the amazing things that tech can do for self-improvement and for education. But let's be real. There are also some potential downsides. What do we need to be cautious about as we embrace all of these advancements?
Well, for starters, we got to maintain that balance between our digital lives and our real-world experiences. Technology has a lot to offer, but we can't forget about the importance of human connection, of face-to-face interactions. We can't let technology become a replacement for those things.
So it's not about letting tech take over our lives. It's about using it in a way that enhances our lives.
Exactly. We also have to be aware of the potential for technology to become addictive. It's so easy to get sucked into that endless scroll on social media or to feel like we have to respond to every notification.
And that can have a real impact on our mental health, our
Mhm.
stress levels, our sleep, even our relationships.
Absolutely. It's crucial to set boundaries, to be mindful of how much time we're spending online, to prioritize our well-being, both mental and physical.
I think that's a great message for everyone listening. Technology is a powerful tool, but it's up to us to use it wisely, to make choices that support our well-being, not just our digital engagement, to be conscious and deliberate in how we integrate tech into our lives.
Couldn't have said it better myself. The future of technology, it's really in our hands. It's up to us to shape it in a way that benefits humanity as a whole.
So well said. I think that's a perfect transition into the last part of our deep dive. We've covered so much ground today, from the rise of these tech-savvy generations to the potential pitfalls of AI.
We've explored how technology is changing the way we learn, grow, connect with the world around us.
And we've emphasized the importance of approaching all of these advancements with both excitement and a critical eye. We're going to recognize the incredible potential, but also the areas where we need to be a bit more cautious.
It's been a fascinating journey. What are our listeners thinking about all of this? What stands out to you? What's got you excited? What's got you worried?
We'll dive into those questions and more in our final part. So stay with us. Welcome back to the final part of our deep dive. I'm so glad you're still with us.
We've covered a lot, haven't we?
We have. It's amazing to think, just a few years ago, these ideas we're discussing, AI tutors, personalized learning, all of that, it seemed like something out of a sci-fi movie.
Right, now it's becoming reality.
And the pace of change is just accelerating.
For sure. It can feel, I don't know, a bit overwhelming, like we're always trying to catch up.
Yeah, I get that. But at the end of the day, we have to remember, technology is just a tool.
It is. And like any tool, it's how we use it that really matters.
Exactly. We have the power to shape it, to make sure it serves our needs, reflects our values.
We can't just be passive, you
No.
know. We have the power to shape it and make conscious choices, be critical.
Totally agree. So as we wrap things up, I'm curious, what are your thoughts on all of this?
Yeah. What stands out to you, listener?
What are you most excited about? What makes you a little nervous as we think about the future of tech and self-improvement?
Yeah, weigh in.
What gets Emmy excited is this.
It's not. And it's so easy to get sucked into the digital world, to spend hours scrolling, checking notifications.
It can become addictive almost.
Yeah, I think that's a real risk. And it can really affect our well-being if we're not careful. Our sleep, our stress levels, our relationships.
So it's about setting boundaries,
Yeah.
right? Being mindful of how much time we spend online.
Right. And what we're doing online, are we using tech to enhance our lives, or is it starting to control us?
Those are important questions to ask ourselves.
They are. At the end of the day, it comes down to this. Technology can be an incredible force for good, but we have to use it wisely.
We have to make conscious choices, be aware of the risks, and remember that technology is a tool. It's not a substitute for living a full, meaningful life.
Well said.
So, to all of you listening out there, thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive. We hope it's given you some food for thought, some new ideas to explore.
It's been a pleasure.
And remember, this journey of self-improvement, it's ongoing. There's always more to learn, more to grow, more to discover.
Stay curious, keep asking questions, keep pushing the boundaries.
And most importantly, never stop striving to become the best version of yourself.
Until next time.
Keep diving deep. We'll see you on the next one.